Yeah, through various initiatives as a part of the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, and he has played a very important role in uplifting India's position in Global Innovation Index from 81st in 2015 to 40th in 2023, which is a remarkable achievement for all of us under the dynamic leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister of India. He has greatly contributed in bringing changes in the policy program to generate IP-centric innovations and commercialization of lab technology, solving sector-specific complex problems by engaging young minds, experimentation of new technology, transfer models, inter-institutional collaboration with a mission to inspire 10 million plus youth from 20,000 higher education institutions across India to choose innovation and entrepreneurship as an alternate career by 2027 and put India in top 20 position in Global Innovation Index. Sri Deepanji is instrumental in successfully establishing a scalable and sustainable model of the Institutional Innovation Council, which is a very much prevalent across various higher education institutions across India, which enables to foster the culture in more than 15,000 plus higher education institutions, which directly influences the career choice of 6 million students. He is leading the formulation and nationwide implementation of various national policy initiatives toward institutionalization and benchmarking innovation practices in higher education institutions such as National Innovation and Startup Policy, benchmarking innovation ecosystem in higher education institutions, KPI, and innovation ranking parameters development, and driving the Institutional Innovation Council Network, Innovation Ambassador Training, Mentor Mentee Program, Impact Lecture Series, Yukti Innovation, linkages of the Atal with the schools. So, large number of reform across various initiatives we have carried out as a part of the innovation cell. So, with this, we again welcome Sri Deepan Sahuji in today's digital webinar, and I now invite him to deliver his talk on innovation and entrepreneurship in India and how our students are could be part of it. So, over to Sri Deepan ji.
Very good morning and thank you, Dr. Amit Srivastava my very good friend at AICT. And during his tenure at AICT, we had a great time and we enjoyed thoroughly in discussing about so many issues on programs, policies, and also implementing so many programs at the national level. So it is my pleasure to be part of this national webinar on innovation and entrepreneurship. And thanks to the IGNOU and all the members, faculty and student members are part of this webinar and listening. And definitely for me also a learning opportunity. In each and every session I learn about how our youth, how our institutions are actually responding to the calls related to innovation and entrepreneurship, how they engage themselves, how they perceive and how they react to this kind of innovative way to address the challenges and capitulating or realizing the opportunities in a realistic way to convert into a business or in a kind of a wealth creation. So, as the topic says that actually this is a webinar on innovation and entrepreneurship, I would love to start from the quote by Mahatma Gandhi: "Be the change you want to see in the world." And another quote by JF Kennedy is that don't ask your country what it has given, ask yourself what you have given to your country. So these two philosophies are core at my heart, and I follow it on every breath I take and live and out. And considering this, so in the since last 7 to 8 years, I'm part of this national mission at AICT and Ministry of Education to make our country, make our education institutions innovative and entrepreneurial. Why we are why we are focusing at education? Because this is the base, this is the foundation. Education systems is the core of the each and every development we want to you want to achieve. So for a nation as an economic unit, if you will consider nation as a unit, as a unit of economic unit, then actually its growth, its development decided by or set by the sources and the resources it is going to utilize effectively, efficiently or not. So these sources and the resources, no doubt sources are going to utilize the resources, but resources like the capitals and the assets like your human capital, your financial capital, your the environmental and the social, the recent additions, and the infrastructure capital. So these are actually resources based on which the sources are actually generate the wealth. And I think these are the basis and the foundation. And to make utilize these sources and resources, there is need of strong understanding and connection with the development by the each and every individuals. Those are part of that economy. That is, the each and every citizen has to realize, or they have to discover that they are the actually part of that whole economic development process, and they have to bring their own competencies and skills and the kind of a entrepreneurial attitude or entrepreneurial ability to utilize these sources and these resources effectively, efficiently. And that is the way actually started all these things. And we all are proud that India has made progress quite fast in the last 1 decade, and we are now third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We are maintaining this third largest ecosystem position since last 3 to 4 years, and very soon, if we will continue, then I think with with the pace what we are progressing well, definitely the top two positions are USA and Israel, and up to some extent China is also there, and definitely we will cross that bridge. We will cross that milestone in next 5 to 10 years, 5 to 7 years, if we will continue this momentum that what we have started now, because the momentum is just picking it up. And as a third largest ecosystem, no doubt that is happening because there are many education institutions, many youths are now jumping into this discipline, and they are now contributing to this innovation and entrepreneurship domain. But another thing is that also India's strength, if you will see, that India's strength lies with its the kind of creative capabilities of our youth, and the highest number of education institutions we have, and the kind of infrastructure they have, the kind of technical and subject knowledges and the knowledge creation process are happening. So in the last 5 to 7 years, if you will see, the trend of intellectual properties are generating from our institutions has picked it up, and now it has been 3 to 4 times what we had 4 or 5 years back, because of the intellectual property policy has been reformed, and continuously we are making it much conducive for our education institutions, startups, SMEs, and individual innovators and the inventors, by lowering down the price of IP filing, and making it better to for the IP generation, incentivizing their involvements, and also reducing the time period for issuing the IPs and processing of the applications. So in many front, the reforms in the last 5 to 6 years actually reflecting in terms of number of knowledge generation, coupled with the kind of competitiveness we've introduced among the students, inventors, institutions, in terms of Atal ranking or innovation ranking, NRF ranking, accreditation process, then approval process. Now all these processes are now much competitive. Everybody is trying to see that and everybody is now trying to fulfill that, satisfying the line of Charles Darwin, that struggle for existence and survival of fittest. That means this is the ultimate, and only there are two tools which is going to bring and rescue all of us, is called innovation, entrepreneurship, and the intellectual property. So this intellectual property brings the competitiveness, where the innovation makes it scale and makes it connect with the real problem and meet the need, whereas the entrepreneurship brings it the scale and the replication. So this intellectual property, innovation, and entrepreneurship, these three are the core and the foundation and the connecting links between all sources and the resources, which actually brings with a lot of competency and potential among the Indian youths or the Indian minds to solve the problems and create the solutions and address the challenges and opportunities in the real world. So all these things that are happening, and don't think that this is happening just now. Actually, being a human being, we are already have a blessed with this kind of creative capability, analytical power. We can speak, we can express, we can think, we can analyze, and you can rectify the past mistakes up to some extent, because this is the God's grace. This is the kind of blessing we have as a human being, because we are the best creature in this world, and God has sent to us with better responsibility. So if I will take you through the way back 1.6 lakhs years back, so so the kind of fossil we got, the human fossil and the human skull fossil we got, it's not the human skull, it is a kind of a skull which is before the human species comes. So the skull, when they researched that the human skull, they found that the human brain, or the kind of the human brain having the 100 billion neurons, actually neurons never get gone through the phase of evolution. That means only the outer case of the skull got through the process of evolution. It is not the neuron. That means every neuron, or the kind of human capability of thinking, connecting, and visualizing the bigger picture, was with us since the day one of the human species came into this world, or it has evolved. That means if I will take you through the timeline, it is around 80,000 years back. 80,000 years back from today, that human species, the trace of human species found. And you will surprised to know, only 6,000 years back human civilization started. Till that time there was no civilization. That means from 80,000 years to 6,000, that's around 74,000 years, they remained uncivilized, but they have survived. Without civilization they've survived, but later they realized that civilization is a tool of survivability. That means human beings civilized, and civilization considered as an innovation in the human history to further their survivability. So the first survivability management is the human being learned is the civilization. It is 6,000 years back, and after that, from today around 3,000 years back. That means from 6,000 years to 3,000 years, the 3,000 years time they took for agriculture revolution. That means both human species evolution and revolution of technological front and technical front started only 6,000 years back. And the first 3,000 years, it was the agricultural revolution. And then it is the called the first 3,000 is the called cultural revolution, but that means they have learned about the culture. That means when they civilized, they established the culture, and the culture made them better, and that also helped them to address the uncertainties, risk in a better way. That means the next innovation happened in human species is called cultural revolution. Then next 3,000 years they have gone through the agriculture revolution. That means the civilization, then cultural revolution, then agriculture revolution, and after that actually scientific revolution start just only I think 300 years back. So after agriculture revolution, human species gone through long years of scientific revolution. Then the industrial revolution started 150 years back, and that 150 years break, that is back, that the industrial revolution also gone through different phases of the industrial revolution. Now at present we are industrial revolution 4.0, and also at the stage of industrial revolution 5.0. So 150 years back, the technical and technological revolutions gone through this industrial revolution of industry I.0, I.1, 1.0, 1.1, and all these things are actually indicates that human beings has a has a high rate of response to the risk and the challenges, and they address through innovation and entrepreneurial way. That is the what the inherent capability of each and every human being in this world. It is the matter of discovering yourself. It is the matter of retrospecting yourself. That's who you are, why you are here, what is your role, and how you will make better use of your time that you are going to spend in this earth for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the whole world, for the betterment of the whole nation as a part of it, of the nation building process. So it is the realization, it is the self-discovery progress, and the answer to all these things is called innovation, entrepreneurship, and creative problem solving capability. So, because these three things are applicable and irrespective of that economic position of that country, irrespective of the person, the social strata it belongs, irrespective of the gender it belongs, irrespective of the geographic it belongs, it is applicable to each and every aspect, that innovation, entrepreneurship, and intellectual capability or creative problem solving are the basis of economic development and sustainable development also. And India is actually in this path because 30, 40 years or 20 years back, if you will ask where India was standing, actually it was more into a necessity driven ecosystem. Now our youth, we have created a different strata, different segment of youth, and those are in the highly active workforce. Actually they see the opportunities, they see the challenges as opportunities, they take risk, they are actually well versed with technical capabilities, and also they are engaging themselves in knowledge generation. So, and more importantly, the institutions, the education institutions are at the foundation. Those are providing this kind of knowledges, infusing the culture of innovation, engaging them, all these young minds to perform or to do better new things during their academic itself. So to make it better, government comes with many initiatives, policy programs, and many, I think almost all ministries, if you do some research, you will find every ministry has some or more component of innovation and entrepreneurship, and all state governments have their own programs and initiatives, government schemes. And similarly, now industries are also coming forward. The corporate social responsibility houses, industry associations, even non-government agencies, at the international bodies. So everywhere, all stakeholders have duly recognized this innovation and entrepreneurship as a key instrument in addressing all kind of social development, sustainable development goals to be achieved, and making every nations or every country progressive in the direction. India has set a big target. India has set a target that by 2047 it should be a progressive, it should be a developed or advanced nation, and by that time India is expecting that it will cross it, or it will reach around $50 trillion economy, and at around 18,000, 20,000 to $20,000 GDP per capita of the individuals. And for that we set milestones. That milestone, that how we will $5 trillion economy, how will become a $10 trillion economy by 2036, and how will become a $5 trillion economy by 2027 to 2030, and industrial progress, and making it is a IP driven and startup nation. India is one of the emerging startup nation. It is one of the youngest startup nation. So this youngest startup nation and emerging startup nation, it has to work. It has to accomplish the goal of the longer objective what we have. We have a objective of making the India one of the skilled nation, and that's why we are focusing more on reskilling than upskilling programs, because skilling is another level, another approach where it makes the youth readiness to address the changes, and it also set a trend what kind of industry and market it should undertake, or it should embrace, right? And India is on the skilling rate. Actually, India is quite lagging behind comparing to the other developed countries. For example, in India, our reskilling rate is very low. It is only 4 to 5%. When I say reskilling, that means once a person graduates from their institute, they hardly go for going for another education program, or they go for reskilling or training programs to upgrade their upgrade as per the requirement of the market. This is called the reskilling. India is having very low reskilling rate. It has some skilling rate, but reskilling rate is very low. That means our youths are not upgrading themselves as per the market requirement, or as they progress in their career, and they assume that what they've learned in their graduation or the post graduation, and what the skill they have obtained, that is enough for them to generate the livelihood, or to stay sustained in this market. But this landscape is now changing because of this artificial intelligence, because of this industrial 4.0 revolutions, because of the data analytics, because the startup culture we have developed, because of the IP culture, and because of the innovation driven economy we have adopted. And it is actually put the Indian economic progress into a different fast track mode. And you must have observed that how the sectoral progress are happening in each and every aspects. And mostly we are now moving towards from a grant oriented to investment oriented, or investment driven model, innovation model. And now we have moved out, and gradually we are sensitizing our institutions that innovation and entrepreneurship are not discipline specific. If you have to make better innovation and better startups, then please try to focus at the ground, that is called the idea level. Ideas should be a quality. There should be a quality idea. That idea must be IP enabled idea, or IP based idea, intellectual property based idea, and should be a unique. It should be realistic, and it should not be addressing the problem of it should be addressing the problem of the mass, or a very particular segment, or the customer which is actually facing the problems, or actually the challenges, or the opportunities not yet been materialized. So that means the idea that where you are working, or that you are going to work, must be a unique, must be a quality, must be an IP centric, must be a customer centric. So if you will ensure this is the kind of idea you are going to start, it should not be daydreaming. It should not be like something vague, or copying something is already exists somewhere. Please try to avoid this kind of ideas and solutions that you are coming across, because it is easy to replicate, but you will not able to generate neither the investments. You may able to generate some grant, but it is not it is only a short term benefit you will get. So the idea must be the quality, and for that we have the programs called Yukti Innovation Repository. And the second thing is called your institutionalizing this innovation entrepreneurship in education institutions, to make each and every department and make each and every individuals in the institute to be part of this whole innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem development, and engaging the external stakeholders, the top authorities of the institutions, the faculty members, industry people, and also bringing the resources from different avenues. That is called institutionalization, and for which institutions innovation council is playing the major role. And at present we have more than 14,500 institutions innovation councils have been established, and out of which 7,000 IICs are actually active. They've established before, and now they are actually guiding other IIC institutions through institutional partnership mode, making the institutions to come to a level playing ground, so that each and every institution will act as an enabling agent, and they will help, they will inspire, they will support another 10,000 students in each and every institute. In that way we will achieve the scale, and it is replicability is also high chance, because already we have proved it that IIC can exist, can operate, and also can be much effectively functional and impact creation in each and every institute, in different type of institutions type, be it a university, be it is a deemed university, or a state university, or a central university, or an institute of national importance, or a polytechnic institute, or a technical institute, or non-technical institute, or it could be a affiliated or affiliating institute, even a standalone. In any type of education institutions, IIC can be one of the effective model, and the ownership and the decentralized way of operation, and having a kind of a division of work and engaging of the different departments is actually the key of the Institute Innovation Council. Similarly, we have programs called Kapila programs to accelerate the innovation entrepreneurship, and Ministry of Education also established innovation centers, India innovation centers in 12 locations of the country, having their physical presence and connecting with the institutions in guiding, handholding, and also developing institutions level policies, on innovation entrepreneurship and IP, so that every institution will take it as a responsible initiative at the institute level, and making each and every key stakeholders are integral part of it. And this is the way actually we are trying our best to make the mission forward, making this India innovative and entrepreneurial. And recently, in this 2024, India's global innovation index position is 39, one step above than the last year. That is, we maintained 40th position for 2022 and 23 now. But actually, I believe this pause of at 39 to 30, after moving from a 81st position to 40 in last 5 years, I think India is consolidating itself now, and India is now setting that, okay, now to make a bigger jump, it is just now making a base. And I believe next 5 years is going to be the kind of a one of the another golden period for our country, because the next jump we will make, and we will make into the top 30, and then by 2030 or to something, if India will make into the top 10 or top 20 in the global innovation index. I'm not saying the global innovation index is the actually indicator like the achievement, but it indicates that how we are progressing. And similarly, number of startups, number of innovations, number of intellectual properties, number of unicorns are producing. If you will consider this number of startups, we have more than 140,000 startups. We have registered startups and recognized by DPIIT. And similarly, we have there is a I think intellectual property, the number of patents. It is at 20% growth than the previous year. So it indicates that how education institutions are actually taking the lead role. So we have devised a program at Ministry of Education how to make a decentralized model of the IIC. That means making the cluster approach of institutions and setting up the innovation clusters, and then taking the industry and investors as part of it, and let's regional development will happen, and each region will contribute to the nation's innovation development. And in this way, I think right approach we have. And now comes to the another aspect of the innovation and entrepreneurship, that is called the how you will celebrate it. See, how will celebrate means when somebody pursue innovation entrepreneurship, and in 99% case, the first attempt will be a failure. Even the second and third and fourth and fifth and tenth attempt will be failure. But actually, many of us actually stop there when we encounter with failure, and we get disappointed, and then we drop our idea, and we stop pursuing that idea. This is the where we were doing mistakes. So startup and innovation is the domain where innovation, where the failure is inevitable. It will come definitely. You can take any successful startup founder, you can take any unicorn founders, you can take any industrialist, successful industrialist. You will find that they have failed in several attempts they made in the initial stage, and these several attempts of the failure actually made them perfect, and made them to see a better better model, which is successful, scalable, and replicable, and that brought the growth to that company. That means as a startup, as an innovator, you have to fail, and failure is the first step of success. This is the what is the learning point. And let me quote another from the Einstein, that Einstein has made a quote that if I will get 1 hour to solve a problem, I will spend 55 minutes to think about the problems and the surrounding factors, and I will only spend 5 minutes to think about the solution. That means understanding the problem and better, and then spending time on the solution. Then also then another thing I remember from that the quote of Einstein, which is very interesting, is that if I have not failed, if I have not made any mistake, then I had not done anything new, or I had not done anything innovation. That means to make new things, to make innovation, you have to fail in your life, and that fail, and that spending more on why you have failed, and learning from the failure, and seeing a better picture for the next attempt are the key. And I believe as an individual, as a part of the academic, you must use your this time, because you are now in the phase of learning, and maximize your learning process by spending time in observing the things, by seeing the phenomena, visiting the locations, and identifying the problems, and work out a solution in a team without a technical biasness, without any prejudice mindset. And then the solution has to be validated, expert advice, and based on some logic and the data, you start taking to the ground, and set that model and take it to the next level through investment and through other funding sources. So this is the way innovation entrepreneurship, and definitely India has a bright future. You have many policies, conducive policies, also incentivizing. We are incentivizing the participations, and many government programs, many incubators, many pre-incubators, and now DST and BIRAC and Minister of Education have schemes to fund. We have seed funding support to the innovators, and technological development fund. All these things are now available at the fingertip of the innovators. But for that, you have to search, you have to spend some time, and you have to connect with your institution. And institutions also have to build their capacity and capability to leverage all these facilities, schemes, and they have to create more facilities for the institutions. Through this, I think we will achieve the objective of making this India innovative and Atmanirbhar and what we call self-reliant India, and this India as a developed nation by 2047. So with this, I will stop my session, and I will request, I will hand over to Amit Srivastava.
Thank you very much, Sri Deepanji. It was an excellent listening to your thoughts on the innovation and entrepreneurship. And especially one of the sentence I just want to repeat here is that the failure is always leading to success. So we have to be always open to the ideas, There are various ways, but definitely one has to invest time on it, to interact, to search through web. There are lots of ways. If we have one idea and we would like to implement it in with the help of some startup or any other things, there are lots of ways to achieve, especially in these days.
Yeah, I forgot to mention one
I,
line actually, Amit ji, if you will allow me for 1 minute.
yeah,
So actually, through my last 15 years of experience in this domain, and also while studying more and more things, I found that there are three things actually makes individuals to fall into the track and taking this innovation entrepreneurship as a passion. That is, first is called the bichar. Bichar means how you think, how your attitude will decide. And the second thing is called when you have the bichar, when you have a very good thought process and attitude of positive attitude towards learning, and also knowledge, seeking more and more knowledge with a lot of curiosity, then actually you move to the next stage called the bhavana. That is your thought, that is your kalpana. That means you are utilizing the knowledge and the curiosity, knowledge you have generated through the curiosity. Here you are connecting all these things, and you are creating a shape that what you want. You are doing, making a kalpana of something betterness, that you are visualizing what you want to achieve and what you have to bring changes. And then it moves to the next level, that is called the vyavahar. That means your action, your how you respond, and how you are trying to pursue that path. That is called your action. That is called your convert. You are pursuing your aspiration, and you're aiming for achievement. So this vichar and bhavana and vyavahar, connecting with your attitude and your kalpana or the creativity with your action. Actually, these are the actually things every individual have to make the retrospection where they stands today and what they want. And if they will trigger all these three qualities, I think definitely they will pursue the passion for what they are aiming for, rather than doing something with by force or making others happy. They should get happy themselves. Ultimately, happiness is the end of the goal of life, and you have to achieve through the happiness. If you're following something with your whole heartedly, and what your mind says, that means you are deriving the happiness what you're doing. I think you are achieving the path of innovation and entrepreneurship. And if you are not happy what you're doing, I think that is the where you will never able to generate the wealth. This is just for a kind of a job seeking mentality. So this make difference the person between a person with innovation entrepreneurial mind, a person with job seeking. And it can be artistic work, it can be other things, it cannot be a business, it cannot be a startup. But the person is having that innovation entrepreneurship is matters. The person is what he is generating is not matters.
yes, absolutely. जो विचार है और ये आना चाहिए, और उसके बाद ही मुझे लगता है हम सब लोग आगे बढ़ पाएंगे उस विचार को एक कॉन्सेप्ट, और कॉन्सेप्ट को फर्दर टू कन्वर्ट इन ए सक्सेसफुल आइडिया. So now I request my colleague Dr. Vikas Singhal to kindly take some questions from the participants.
थैंक यू सर. सर तो सेशंस तो काफ़ी अच्छा रहा, बट इसमें काफ़ी जो हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं तो उनके कुछ डाउट्स भी हैं, और अब टाइम है क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन का, तो मैं वन बाय वन इनवाइट करूंगा. जो जिनके भी ऐसे कोई डाउट्स हैं तो वो अपना रेज हैंड करें जिससे मुझे मालूम चले. तो सबसे पहले हम इनवाइट करेंगे रुखसार खान. तो रुखसार खान, आप अपना डाउट पूछ लें. रुखसार खान. रितेश कुमार.
यस सर.
हाँ, आप अपना जो भी क्वेश्चन है पूछ सकते हैं.
सर फर्स्टली आई एम ग्रीटिंग यू. गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
Good morning.
Sir, I have a question. How can we enroll in entrepreneur, and what's the project designed to make better?
See, if I understood your question, how I will enroll for?
Enroll in entrepreneur program.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
See, entrepreneurship is an individual quality, right? See,
Yeah.
it is a process. it is not the kind of, and it grows as you refine it further, right? It is not a specific discipline skill like understanding the robotics, understanding the drone technology. This is a discipline specific skill. Entrepreneurship is not like a particular discipline. It is about how to identify opportunities and which is not yet been identified others. Entrepreneurship is something about how to make that ideal resources, make use of it, and generate something new. Or entrepreneurship is something about how to make how to address the problems and devise a solution which is acceptable to the people those are facing problems. So these are the qualities. These are the qualities has to be refined. And I think that for that, what you need, first thing you have to develop a attitude development. Attitude means there are four things actually attitude. The first thing is that you must have a self motivation. First, you ask yourself, are you a really self motivated boy or self motivated person? Yes or no? If you are self motivated, then you have to think that is your brain, is your mind getting disturbed when you something is going wrong in and surrounding you. That is, if you are going somewhere, please first switch mute your mic. Okay,
Okay.
please mute your mic. I'm telling, because I'm answering question, please mute your mic. So first to check your attitude. The first point is called self checking, right? The first self check point is that, are you having a self motivation to pursue any matter, be it a personal, be it a professional, be it anything? If you are self motivated enough, if you are the only one person which is asking, I will do this, I will do that, I will do that, you plan it without any third party or second party's involvement, then I think you are self motivated. You can ask yourself, because every day you conduct 100 activities, you ask, is it are you doing these activities with somebody's involvement or somebody ask, then only you initiate, or you do on your own, something in mind. Second thing is about the restlessness. That is, every time you are thinking about to do something new, something addressing, like when you see something is going wrong, you are thinking why it is happening, why there. So this kind of restlessness is on your mind, then I think you are qualifying the second things. The third thing is called, when you think that some problem is happening and you are self motivated, but your solutions are abruptive, your solutions are just instantly coming without checking that fact, without doing the proper investigation, then I think it is something wrong. So your solution also should be based on certain fact, or based on certain kind of logic, or based on certain kind of principle, something, then I think you are qualifying the third level. The fourth level is called your risk taking ability. That is your when you decided that this is the solution, and you are quite self motivated enough, and you have the identified the problems, and the solution is logically correct, then if you are not implementing it and you are dropping there also there is some problems. That means you have some perseverance and actionable component within you. That means once you decided, you have to complete it by plan A, plan B, contingency kind of things. So these are the four things. If you are having in your daily life, in any project, in any task you do in your life, then I think you are suitable for entrepreneur. Then you put yourself into the training to refine all these four components or all together. That will help you in identifying the real life problem or the real solution, and which is a business scalability. So the basic, we are not saying that every person will have all these four qualities, but if you will consciously think through design thinking process, then definitely you can develop these qualities on this four aspect. That is self motivation, restlessness in identifying the opportunities, then logical approach to find the solution. The fourth thing is called implementation capability. So these things, implementation behavior. So all these four things, every person has to make them a certain level while venturing into the innovation and entrepreneurship line, and if they are aspiring to start a business. And these four things and training, that is skilling and ability, and the skilling training will actually prepare them for the particular segment specific or particular startup specific domain. So there you need a specific skill, which is again the technical skill you will get, some management skill you will get. So prepare in this way. First you qualify these 3-4 criteria. If your heart and mind is saying you are okay, then enroll into all these training programs.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Devanshu Sharma. Please ask your doubt.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I have two questions. First of all, is that what are we lacking as a nation that we are not achieving our goals in being an innovative country as we are expected today? And my second question is that I want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to start my own work, but I am not clear about in which direction or in how I can find a problem, as you said, for customer centric problem that I can work upon.
So okay, let me answer the first one. Please you mute your mic so that I will not get disturbed. The first thing is called the first question, as a nation where you are lacking. See, there are three things. There are three things actually makes the foundation strong. First is called your education. When I say education, it is called the quality education. It's not normal education, it's quality education. And quality education to meet the current market need of the things. This is where India is actually is a great sufferer of this quality education. Now this NEP 2020 has reset the foundation, but we had a long history of lack of quality in our education and not appropriately fitting the need of the industry. But if you will see in an advanced country, the education leads the industry. Education sector set the path for industry to follow. But in our country, we are trying to follow the path of industry and also not able to meet the requirement. This is the difference, right? The second thing is called knowledge generation. When I say knowledge generation, how we incentivize and making use of our youth in this education to generate new knowledges, because knowledges bring the competitiveness, it brings the kind of your survivability. So intellectual property, patents, all kind of things actually will decide. And India was lagging in this aspect also. The third thing is called your your skilling. That skilling means are you actually, once your education is done as a youth, are you actually able to what is your productivity? What is your productivity, and are you able to see the opportunity? What your second question, while working or not? So these three things actually, once it is aligned, and then you will find India's or any nation's economy in a fast track. And for our country, actually, in all these three aspects, we have lacked. But now you are trying to put them into a synergy mode, into the synchronized mode, and that's the way we are now made a good track, good progress in the track. But there are still many miles to go. Now coming to the second question, what you've asked about that, as an individual, how you will find, because things. See, when we say idea, because you are thinking that idea is the beginning, but actually idea is not the beginning. As an individual, the curiosity is the beginning. Curiosity means jigyasa. You are to ask question. Ask yourself, are you asking enough questions when you are observing? First you ask yourself, are you a visitor? Are you a frequent visitors? Are you a keen observer? Are you a listener? No. If you are not a good listener, if you are not a key observer, if you are not visiting to many places to observe phenomena, then actually you are staying away from the actual problems, right? So that means as an individual, you should spend less time in the mobile phone, less time in the screen. You have to make visit to the many places, many locations. You have to observe. Because when you go and observe, by observing, you are observing the phenomena happening in the nature, and they are the customer, because you have to see the problems from their issue, not from your issue. That means sympathizing, empathizing the problems and the challenges from the customer point of view, and then you have to connect the undergraduate or the postgraduate skills what you've learned. You have to just utilize your intellectuality, not the technical capabilities. You have to utilize your intellectual capability to understand the problems, and then generalizing a pattern that that problem is a specific that one person, or this is the problems to many people of similar kind exist in that locality. Then you draw a kind of a demographic profile, their age group, their kind of a economic strata, their gender, their economic behavior, their social behavior. Then develop a 3-4 key criteria that belongs to that particular group. That means you have identified the problems, and also you found that they are struggling with the problems, and also you have generalized that what these people look like in their demographic and kind of things. Then see that is that similar kind of people are also exist in other parts of the city, other parts of the state, other parts of the country, or other parts of the world. So if you find that these are the kind of a generic quality and the pattern exist in other things, that means you are now making that problem statement bigger and much relevant. And then you have to use some research to validate that, and simultaneously you have to also go through the problem as the solution validation interaction, then devising your solution package or the product or the service that they will solve. Then by the time you will have your own team, by the time you have your validated problem and solution, by the time you have your ready potential customer, and when these three things will again combine, you will find a very good startup or venture solving the bigger problems with lots of impact. You got my point?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
देवांशु एंड अदर पार्टिसिपेंट, आई जस्ट वांट टू ऐड वन थिंग हियर कि अगर आपके पास कोई आइडिया है और देयर इज ए वन नेशनल सेंटर फॉर इनोवेशन डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन एंड देयर इज ए वन innovation cell at every regional centers of the IGNOU. So I request all of you to kindly visit the innovation cell at the headquarter, IGNOU headquarter, Maidangadi, especially those who are living in Delhi. And you may also visit the regional center so that we can further work upon all these things. Mr. Abhishek Singh Chauhan, any quick question? Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Modi.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay, sir. Sir, my question is, I want to know how to make my idea into a plan. If I have an idea, I want just to transform it into a plan.
Yeah, Dipanji.
Ji,
There is a one question from the participant that how to make idea into a plan.
idea into plan. Would you please repeat? What's your question?
Sir, I just want to ask you that if I have an idea about the problem and I want to make it into a plan, so how I can proceed into the direction?
See, there is a tool called design thinking principle. I don't know if you have not gone through or not come across with that. So design thinking tool is the first step or the first tool you can apply in a scientific way. But as a layman language, I can tell you basic steps how you will do it. When you are saying you have an idea, then first you have to check that that idea is actually idea or not. It is an idea in what sense, right? And every idea has to be qualified, or every proposition has anything that comes to your mind. If you're claiming to be an idea, before it claiming, it should follow these 5 questions. And if you are qualifying these 5 questions, I think you are perfect. You have nobody has no objection to recognize that this is an idea. If and you to the first thing is that the first question you have to ask before you mention an idea is an idea. The first question is that whose problem, not what problem, whose problem it is, or who is the sufferer, or what is the challenge, or what is the opportunity. Second thing is that how big is the what is the problem. That means now we have to explain that what is the problem. The third thing is called how big is the problem. That means you have to quantify the size of the things. The fourth thing is called your, what is the uniqueness in your solution? How you will say that this is the uniqueness? Why? What distinguishes your solution is better than existing solutions or in the first time solution? The fifth question is that if you think that this is not a unique or this is not a first of its kind, there are already some solutions, then how your solution is better than the existing one? If you are having answer for this five question, and by combining the answer of this five question is the called idea, and you can call that is a one paragraph or one page of this five questions answer is called the idea. Idea is not a line. Idea is not something like some product. Idea is the expression of something you perceive that needs to be solved, that needs to be addressed, and should a amalgamation of answer to this five question is called idea. That one page is called idea. Do you have that? Answer is yes, then you should proceed to the next stage. If you're not having that, then start working on developing this one page having the answers to these five questions, and with what I've said before, that the first time. If you have these things, then the next stage, the next level is called execution. That is called validation and execution. So the next plan is called validation. That means you have to take this idea to the table, discussion table. You have to utilize either you have to make a team, or you have to bring the expert, and you have to discuss that this is the idea I have, this is the solution I have, but I don't know it is going to work or not, or I'm not sure actually it is going to happen or not. Let's discuss, let's prioritize, let's develop other options, and let's know that which one is feasible. So that team is going to work, or a 2 members, 3 members, 5 members team or expert group, you have to discuss and you have to make sure that this idea is going to work. Then what you will find it, again you will take to the customer or the the first question, whose problem, to them. Again you have to discuss with them that this is the problem I have identified and this is the solution I have developed. Do you think that this is going to work? This is going to create value? This is going to help you? If the answer is yes, then you have to start further working on it. If the answer is no, you have to again come back to the discussion table. You have to again retrospect. Again, you have to change your idea, or you have to refine your idea. You have to refine your solution. This is the process will continue till the customer will say that yes, I like this, I want this, and I want to have this. If these three things you will listen to the customer, then start developing, then start spending money on developing the product, developing the lab scale of different technology readiness level. Till that time, don't work it, don't spend time, don't waste money on this. Till you reach that level, then only you start spending money, and you need grant, you need money, you need fund from different sources. Then for the development process, again there are many development process of technology readiness level. For that also, in each and every stages of TRL 3, 4, 5, then you have to again, in each and every stage you have to take the feedback from the customer, and you have to also see the funding opportunities you will mobilize for the development. This is the way you will proceed, you will reach to the level called technology demonstration or the product demonstration, product IP filing, then your once it and customer validation, that is called product market fit. That means you have the product and for the customer, and customer like to have it, and they are also ready to pay it if it will be available to them. Then this product market fit, having IP product or having some kind of a uniqueness, then you with your team you go for a registration of the startup, that is called the venture creation, and you have a equity ownership, and then you go for angel and VC funding, angel funding, angel investment funding. Then you start growing your business. So this is the plan actually you have to follow, and this plan can be reversed if you will not follow the you will not secure the previous step moving to the next step.
Yeah, thank you so much, Deepanji. Actually, our senior regional director, ma'am, Dr. Siran Mukherjee, was not able to join earlier due to some other engagement. So I request Dr. Siran Mukherjee, ma'am, senior regional director, to kindly address the participants.
Good morning, and I also would like to, although I'm a little late, apologies for that. And due to my personal some health issues, I could not attend the very interesting lecture of Shri Deepan Kumar Sahu. But nevertheless, I thought I should not miss this opportunity, and I logged in. Although at the end, well, welcome and thank you once again, Shri Deepan Kumar Sahu, Assistant Innovation Director, Ministry of Education, Innovation Cell. We really are very grateful for to you for sparing this valuable time. Well, I just heard, I think you were responding to a particular question of one of the participants. Well, yes, I fully agree. Innovation is the key nowadays. As we all know, and it is very commonly known that change is the only constant. So we have to be very dynamic. Dynamism is the only thing that can help us to grow, help us to develop, and innovation is the key to dynamism. I think it is because of innovation. I would not like to name any particular country, but it is because of innovation. There are some of the countries which are really forging ahead globally. They are even in commerce and industries, in trade, in export. They are leading other nations, and they're really growing at a very fast pace. So we do have to do that. Although our government is really encouraging, and there are a lot of people who are into startups now. There are a lot of people who are doing very good innovation jobs, but we still need a lot of efforts to move in that direction. So let us be very innovative. Let us make efforts to not only learn new things, but also try to introduce new things in our day-to-day life, in our office, even at home, and and try to develop, help the government, and help the nation to grow. Thank you so much. I would like to thank our Deputy Director, Senior Deputy Director, Dr. Amit Srivastav, Dr. Vikas Singhal, and my all other official colleagues there, Dr. Shaini Dugal, um, Meena Singh, Dr. Rita Chauhan, our Deputy Registrar Anil ji, for being present in this gathering, in this online meeting with all of us, and my special greetings for Shri Deepan Kumar Sahu. Over to you, Amit ji. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now we are coming to the end of this meeting. So again, on behalf of the regional center and all the colleagues here and our students from different parts of across the different regional centers of India, we express our sincere gratitude to Sri Deepan Sahuji for his timely for accepting the invitation and subsequently delivering a very important lecture on the very important aspects related to the entrepreneurship and the innovations. So thank you very much, Deepanji, and we look forward to having more such sessions in the future. Thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar.